Now, what have we talked about so far? After talking about us, we introduced data analysis. We talked about what is data analysis, what are tables, what are keys. That was all in the previous video. Now, let's go and talk about some SQL basics. What is SQL? Why is it used? How is it used? So, SQL is a language that's used to interact with databases. There are multiple different other languages, but SQL is the most popular. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Some people say SQL. It's easier to say SQL, like a sequel to a movie. Now, what can you do with SQL? CRUD for creating, reading, updating, and deleting into and out of databases. That's like one of the main things. Managing users. You can manage users within SQL. You can do things like backup and restore your database elements. So think of it like someone in the library, like a librarian. What does a librarian do? They retrieve elements or books from the correct shelf or table. So if you go to a library and you ask a librarian, do you have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and then she'll say, let me check. If she has it, she'll give it to you. If she don't, you will not have it. No result. It's think of SQL in that manner if that can help you. So how do we get data out of a database? How do you get information from a table with 500,000 entries? Imagine you have a table of population of employees of a big organization with 5 million employees. You want to see the employees who haven't logged in the past week, or all the employees who have a Windows computer. Like you can come up with several reasons. How do you retrieve that information? We need queries. So queries are instructions that you give to a database to retrieve data, to modify data, to manage data, essentially. Like if you want the list of all users with a first name starting with A, or uh, over 30 years old, under 30 years old, you can write million different types of queries. So a query is like a Google search, but for a database. Like a SQL query is particular for a database. It uses specific keywords like select, from, where, and, or, and the multiple others. So you are telling the database what you want. The cool thing with SQL is that it resembles natural language. So it's kind of like when you read it, it feels like you're talking to the database. It doesn't feel like programming. So here's an example. Select first name from the table students where the first name equal Marco. So what are you saying here? You're telling the database to select the first names. So give me the first names from the table students whenever the first name is Marco. If there are multiple, it will give you multiple. If there's only one, it will give you one. Here's another example: a table of employees. You have the first names, you have the last names, you have their sex and their hire date. It can be a bigger table. This is purely for illustration. So if you want to write a code to find all the employees who joined the company after the year 2000, this is what you can say. Select first name from employees where the hire date, and you're extracting the year only from the hire date, is greater or equal to 2000. So this could be a query. So if you think about it, you're selecting the first name from the table employees, and pay attention here. We are only selecting the first name where it says select. And don't worry, we are going to write the codes together in a couple of videos. You're only selecting the first name from the table employee. So if you wanted more, you could have said select first name, last name, sex, and more. But here we are only selecting the first name, right? From the table employees where the hire date is greater or equal to 2000. So it's from 2000, the year 2000 upwards. So if you can take a look, you can, this is a very short table, so you can already know what the results will be because it's a very short table, right? But think about it. Imagine in a company with like 3 million employees, how would you know all that? So you need things like SQL queries to extract that data, and uh, you will have a result with, like, it will give you a result with all the employees born after that date. You could have selected like where the sex equals F for females, sex equals M for males, and you can even combine like where sex equals F and higher date greater or equal to this date. And don't worry, we are going to write multiple queries in a couple videos ahead. So what are some common SQL commands, some common keywords? The most common one is select. So this is, you're telling SQL, this is what I want. give this to me. Select retrieving data. Pick only the items you want from the store. When you go to a store, you have your your shopping list, and you know exactly what you want. That's what you select. So from the database, you want the same thing. I want to select this, and that. That's the select keyword. Insert is, like the name says, inserting data into the database. Update, you're modifying existing data. So you're updating data from what is already existing. Delete, you're removing data. If you want to remove, delete is very self-explanatory. Where is filtering, where the year is greater or equal to 2000, where the sex is female or male, where the last name starts with a P, or there's multiple different scenarios that you could use in this situation. And as usual, I'll complete with a little cyber attack, because principally I'm a cybersecurity professional, and I'll show you guys a little bit about SQL relationships with cyber attacks. So in SQL, we have what we call a SQL injection. SQL injection is a cyber attack that hackers use to trick the database with SQL queries. So essentially what they do is that they inject their code, hence the word injection. They add their code, their malicious code, into a database to trick the database with bad queries and to corrupt the database. So they try to exploit the vulnerabilities in applications by uploading malicious code into the database. Malicious input like 1 = 1. This is 1 = 1 is a statement that will always be true. So if you don't have like input validation to verify things like that, you can easily be manipulated. Your database can easily be manipulated because it will read this instruction as always true. So it can always return input if the user requires for input. So what are some consequences of SQL injection? A data breach, manipulation. The hacker can manipulate your database, can compromise your database, can install malware, can install a backdoor. And this usually happens via forms, like search bars on websites, like login fields, like comment sections, like forms where you fill a user information. It's always important for programmers to make sure that they are not allowing any type of input. And some tools like SQL can be used to generate SQL injections. The SQL is a kind of tool that can be used to generate injections. So to prevent this, it's very important to validate user inputs. Like cybersecurity professionals and programmers have to validate user inputs, and there are procedures for those. So here's an example, a very short illustration of SQL injection. So imagine you have a hacker here, right? The hacker is trying to exploit the database. Now, for SQL injection, the hacker will try to find a way to get all data from a database, or delete the data or corrupt the data. This is just one scenario. Now, what happens here? He sends his malware into the database either via SQL or another tool, by performing some SQL injection, writing malicious code, and he writes a code that could extract all the data from a database. Now, if your database is not secure, like you see where it says where 1 = 1, that will always be true. So your database, if it's not secure, it will always accept the queries. So what happens is eventually he gets all the values, all the data from the database into his computer. So he gets, your entire database, which is what should be avoided at all costs. That's a SQL injection. Very dangerous, very malicious.
I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media. Thanks again from CyberMuk, and we'll see you on our next course.